We're live.
Young bitch, rich bitch, ill, I'm a sick bitch, mad bitch, bad bitch, pull up on some gang shit. I am not a boss, bitch, I am a boss, bitch. Whoa, slow your roll, bitch, ain't fucking with no broke bitch. I'm so crazy, psycho, on the beat, bad like Michael. I don't need no fucking title, I just kill shit on arrival. Best believe it's my revival, so watch out, it's survival. I won't stop until my idols end up turning to my rivals. They be like, young Tati, why you trapping so hot? I don't need this strap for nothing, I just kill 'em with boss.
Hi everyone, it's King Tasi here. I'm the host of Millennial Point of View, or MPOV for short. MPOV, for those of you guys who don't know and who are brand new to the show, it's targeted towards both millennials and Generation Z, where I will not only be discussing the entertainment industry, but also focusing on other topics such as popular culture, financial literacy, both national and international news, as well as advice on how to navigate within today's crazy thing we call life and more. I will also frequently be bringing in experts and people who have already found success in said areas. So if you are or know someone who is either a millennial or Generation Z and is successful in any field, be sure to contact me with a short bio at kingtati@gmail.com, which is KINGTATIE@gmail.com. Also, be sure to tune into MPOV every Friday at 6 p.m. sharp. So I'm really excited to introduce to you guys our guest this week. His name is Brian Smith. He's based out of Daytona Beach, Florida. With shows and especially trying to work out technology and everything, we sometimes have technical difficulties. So unfortunately, when we were testing with Brian earlier, we weren't able to get his audio. So this will actually be an in-phone interview. So Brian, say what's up to everybody. How are you?
Hey, what's up, everybody? How everybody doing today? How you doing, Kay?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm blessed. God has made it through it. God has helped me make it through another day, so everything is good.
Definitely. I'll toast to that one. So I'm so excited to have you on the show. There's a lot of things that I want to go through with you and ask you about. I've done some little research on you, and I can see you're booked and busy, and you're really focused in on learning your videography skills, among other things that you've got going on. So I guess let's just start with a little background information first. So I noticed you are a junior at, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Bethune Cookman University, which is a private HBCU in Florida, right?
Yes, it is. Private HBCU. I love Bethune Cookman University. I'm a junior there. My major is mass communication with concentration in broadcast production.
Nice.
I love my school.
Nice. So what is it like being a communications major in an HBCU, and what made you decide to go to an HBCU instead of just a regular college?
Well, first, when I graduated from high school, I graduated from Millennial High School, in Daytona Beach, and my first goal was to actually run track, go off to Michigan, get a D3 scholarship, run track. But then 6 years ago, my brother had got into a car wreck, which it caused me to push back, my dreams of being a track star and stay in Daytona Beach. So since I decided to stay here and be here with him, I went to Daytona State first, and then I decided to go to BCU. I decided to go to BCU because it's an African American, college, and I wanted to be around, people like me, so I don't have to against others, I just, wanted to be in a more comfortable zone where I can get the most out. And, BCU is one of the most legendary schools of all time, with Dr. Mary Bethune, who was a civil rights activist, who paved the way for young African American females and young African American males to thrive, to be excellent, to learn and depart to serve, which is her huge motto at BCU.
Nice. And so you also mentioned earlier that your major is in mass communications, but you're concentrating in broadcast production. So tell us a little bit about that. What I love to do in this show is also for people who are going into college and not sure what to major in or not sure what career field they want to work in, to give the opportunity when I'm interviewing people like you, in case this piques anyone's interest. So can you tell us a little bit more about what it is to be a mass communications major and how fun it's been or interesting it's been for you concentrating on broadcast production?
Yeah, well, first of all, for millennials who are coming up into college, coming out of high school, don't rush it. Don't worry about, just, of course you're supposed to find your niche, but when you get there, make sure you're doing what you love, because a lot of times when you come from high school to college, love change. And that's what happened with me. I was first a CSI major, and then I changed to mass communication because I didn't love it. I knew how to do it, but something I was passionate about. So then, with that being said, I love mass communication. It was just like a free way of me to express how I feel, being behind the camera, editing, learning, just being everywhere people need, learning, news, learning how to communicate better. That's really one of the main reasons why, because there's a lot of people lack communication skills, and I feel like it's important for me to, reach out and gain that. So, it's been a fun ride. Just learning how to use the camera, learning different aspects of the game, learning how to, always be presentable, be approachable, always be ready for the next news site, still learn. I could go on and on about the communication world. There's just so much out there that people should learn and people should focus on, because communication is key. If we don't have communication, we're not knowledgeable of anything that goes around. So that's really my take on, being a mass communication major.
Right, I love that. I'm also a communications major too, so I completely agree with everything that you said. I think there's no valuable major to study. Yeah, I'm actually specializing in broadcasting. So with me being a journalist and also having this show, I'm hoping to go into maybe news anchoring, being a TV show host. I've learned so many valuable lessons about communication as well. So everything that you said is honestly, I couldn't agree more.
Amen. I love it. Journalist, way to go. I love to write.
Definitely. And so, it's really intriguing because you did mention that you were previously interested in track. And then going from track to, videography is such a huge lane switch. How did that come about? How did you realize that you had a passion for being a videographer?
Well, it kind of just, I don't know, sometimes, things just happen that you can't really explain, but if I had to explain, track, I love track, I enjoyed it, I was passionate for it, but then when I got to, to college, when you get to college, I guess it makes you see things in a different aspect, and, once I found, that I was able to create and use my, innovative ability to, just be out there, things and record things and edit and, just be willing to help people out who need my help. It kind of just like fell in and, I prayed, I go to church, I believe in God. So it was almost like he pushed me into it. And I did get up on it. There were times where I didn't want to edit. I didn't want to do videography. But it was just something about pushing through those moments that made it so much more exciting. So then when I left track, it was like I left into something that was going to benefit me more, because, sports has a certain time. And I want to make sure I'm doing something that can last me over time and just not overnight. So I was really looking at it in that aspect, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that does. It definitely does make sense. I know, often anybody that's going into the athletic career field, the entertainment career field, they're always told, get an education. And sometimes people take that the wrong way and they think it's because you don't believe in my dreams, you want me to have a backup plan. And it's not about having a backup plan. It's about making sure that, whatever happens in life, at least you have that education to help back you up. It can only advantage you, never disadvantage you. So.
Exactly.
Nice. So I noticed also, you mentioned God, keeping God in your life, having faith, praying, and I did notice when I was researching about you that you do mention about that a lot. How has keeping the faith and keeping God close to you helped you to stay on track in school, with your major, and just life in general?
Well, like growing up, I had a foundation base. My auntie Wong, of course. Her sister, which is my grandmother, my mom. They kept me in the church. So it was, growing up in the church. You didn't really understand, why, you were getting blessed or why certain things. People were there for you, because you had people praying for you. And I didn't really get to know who God was until I was maybe about 17, 18. I knew about him younger than that, but I didn't really actually get to know him. So when I got to know him, I started going to a church called the Word Worship Center with Pastor Luther Hickley, who's an awesome pastor. He's been there for me since I could remember. And he's really, him and his family, and the church members, and of course my mom, my brothers, they pushed me to stay close to God. And I feel like without him, I can't do nothing. He's the reason why I get up every day. He's the reason why I have the talents that I have. So in order for me to, be more grateful, I have to give honor to him. And once I give honor to him, paying my tithes, being a servant, because you're supposed to serve first. And once I, started learning that, I started dancing. I'm mine as well. That's another gift that I have, but it's through him that I'm able to do those things. So that's kind of has helped me just push through the hard times. We go through struggles, but the Bible does say, cast all your cares to the Lord because he does care for you. So you lean on him, you got nothing to worry about.
Definitely. I agree with all of that. You actually just reminded me, I was watching a Steve Harvey motivational video the other day, and he said that, as long as God is waking you up every morning, it means he still has plans for you in your life. So obviously, in seeing all these great things that you're doing, it just goes to show that he does have a plan for you, and he knows exactly what your destiny is, and it seems like you're doing a good job at fulfilling it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's a tough process, but you got to go through pain to get the purpose. So, you got to struggle to get somewhere. If you're not struggling, you're not making it. That's how.
Definitely. And so I also noticed that you have your own production company, Turbo Productions. So I was wondering if you could also tell us a little bit more about that, when you started it, why you started it, and all the things that you've been doing since you started it.
Well, it's kind of actually a funny story. When I was about a sixth grader, they had this rap group called, it was a rap group, I forget the name, I'm sorry, but my nickname was Turbo. And I used to rap social that, but I really stopped, things broke out, and I started, going to school playing football in the track. And so Turbo started becoming a nickname, because I just started broadcasting. So then when, I got to college, that's what everybody calls me. They don't really call me by my nickname, they call me Turbo. Almost like it's my actual name, but it's my nickname. So I would say, I started doing videography. I said, what would be a good catch? I got a nickname. So, I'm a broadcast production man. Okay, production, Turbo Productions. And that's kind of how I came up with the idea of my videos. And, I just wanted to, start something as an entrepreneur, be my own business owner. I'm still working in the mix of getting everything copyrighted, but I started over maybe like 2 years ago, but I didn't come up with Turbo Productions until about a year. And it's basically my life of being a director, an editor, a filmmaker. My goal is to be a global director. I want to change lives, for anybody in need, any type of way, motivation, inspiration, whatever it is.
Nice, nice. I love that. And then also besides, like you said, being a videographer and an editor, you're also into photography and flyer designing too. Can you talk a little bit more about that as well?
Yeah, photography is like a backstage half of your mind. It's not something that I'm excellent at, but being in the mass communication world, one thing that Mr. Shaw taught me is that you have to be well rounded. So I try to make sure I'm just able to do videography, but I can do photography. I can make flyers. I can do things on the fly. So that if I get out in that mass communication world, and I might not be a videographer that day, they might say, "Hey, we might need you to make a flyer, or we might need you to take some photos." If I already have that in my arsenal, then I'll be able to be more beneficial to a company who may want me to work for them. And people who want to end up working for me on the type of productions, it can be a vice versa type of thing. So that's how I kind of look at it in that aspect.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's always great to be versatile, especially now more than ever.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So what are some of the projects that you've already been able to do since you started majoring in mass communications, and also along with your production company as well?
Well, due to my production company not being it's not copyrighted just yet. It kind of limits me to certain things that I'm able to do right now. But I'm still on the rise, so I haven't really done any big projects. But right now, I do have a partnership with Digital Hood Stars, where we interview local young rappers, giving their bios, why they rap, where they came from, what city, just trying to, it's rappers rap, but they also have reasons behind why they rap.
Right.
And so we just sit down and, I record them while, the CEO of Digital Hood Stars, he interviews them. And, we get their background, we get their feed, and then we share, we expose it. Also now I just got a contract with a semi-pro football team where I do their videography. I record every football game every weekend. So that's a big project. Actually that's a big project that I'm working on now. On a contract. So yeah.
Wow! Congratulations on that. That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so I know you said that, obviously with your production company not being copyrighted, it does limit you. Obviously once everything is in order, where do you see yourself going with the production company? What are your plans for the future, in terms of short-term goals, and where you see yourself maybe even 10 years from now?
I'm sorry, that last part kind of buzzed out a little bit. Could you repeat that, please?
Oh no, yeah, you're fine. So you mentioned just now that right now you're limited with the production company due to copywriting. But once you've kind of got everything in order, where do you see yourself going with the production company in terms of short-term goals that you'd like to reach, and where you see yourself even 10 years from now?
Okay, so what my goal is with the production company is to, like I said, just change lives of young people, showing them that they can do anything they put their mind to. They just have to be confident. They have to believe in themselves. They can't, with everything that you do, people are going to hate. People are not going to agree with what you do. But if you keep pushing yourself, if you keep believing in yourself, and like I said, have faith in God, and you can make it through anything. And you shouldn't let nobody stop you or tell you that, oh, because your music bad or your video is not as good as they like it. Like that should make you want to go, even harder. And so, 10 years from now, I plan on having, a building, maybe multiple buildings across the world that says Turbo Productions, where people come in and not learn how to do videography, not learn how to do photography, but there's also a motivational side of me that that I want to express, motivate, young kids to be successful in life. It's hard for African American male out here, and if we're being our own bosses and, controlling, the territory, but not necessarily, thinking about world, power, it's, it's good to, have something that's your own, that say that, that you came up with this, but there are also people that have helped you pave the way while you created this, because you never do it alone. It takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a village to help raise a business, because, you have fans, you have people who you love, so, everything plays a part.
I love that. I love the fact that, when you talked about your success, you mentioned giving back to the community, which is a lot of things that, people don't mention when you ask them what they plan to do 10 years from now. So that's really great to hear.
Yeah. Like I said, it's all love, it's all passion. I've been through a lot, so, I love Daytona Beach, and being from here, seeing everything that everybody go through, it'd be a perfect city to give back to, not just here, but like you said, around the world as well.
I love that. So what would be your dream project to work on, or who would be your dream person to work with?
Will Smith.
I love that.
He's like, one of my favorite, actors, and not just an actor, but a motivational speaker. When you watch his live shows, like on Facebook, when he speaks with so much passion and so much, greatness, that he's always ready to push people, help people, and I never got the chance to meet him. Like, if there's anybody that I would love to work with, it would have to be Will Smith, without a doubt.
Oh, I completely love that answer. That's so funny you said that, because I just watched Pursuit of Happiness last weekend, and it gave me such crazy motivation and inspiration. So I would love to work with Will Smith too. That's a great answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, obviously this show is called The Millennial Point of View. You are millennial. So I just kind of want to get from your perspective where you think the future of the millennials is headed. And obviously, being a videographer, everything is so entertainment focused right now within the millennial and Generation Z generation. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, with millennials in the future, it's the things that, they have to experience and they're seeing at such a young age is kind of mind-boggling. Like with, for instance, this coronavirus that's going on, everybody's crazy. But they have kids kicked out of school because they can't go to school because of a virus, and now they have to stay home with their parents. But I also think it's it's actually not just a downfall. It's actually a good thing, because a lot of kids don't get to spend time with their families.
Right.
And I think this is one way that, more children would be home with their mom, be home with their dads. And they might not be working like they, normally work, but, kids need to spend time with their parents or whoever that's raising them, because, I know it's important to go to school, but I also take family very serious.
Yeah.
And, time waits for no one. Anybody can be gone. And, for us millennials in the future, I think that it's very important for them to be able to be successful. They have to have their family behind them to help push them, because that can be their why of why they're doing what they're doing, why they're going so hard. They want to, change the world. They don't want to just change the world and make it a better place, but they want to also be able to help their family on the back end. And so with, me being a videographer and, being a millennial, this is my way of expressing how I want to take care of not only the world, but my family on the end, because when you walk outside, you don't just represent you represent who are related to you, or who are connected to you. So when people see you doing certain things, they expect you to act a certain way. You got to be mindful of that that these are kids, and they, like I said, they have to see so much going on, around this world, and sometimes they don't understand. And I feel like more than anything, that it's more of the parents, jobs to educate, their kids. So like I said, this could be a great time for parents right now to educate their children on what's going on in society and not just, use this as a time to just say, oh, this virus is a virus. There's nothing that we can do about it. No, spend time with your kids, spend time with your family, because you never may get it back. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hearing that, I can agree more with what you said. I'm someone who's always been very close with my family, my parents growing up, and, we're always talking about everything from what's going on in the news to, just how was our day. They're like my best friends, basically talk about anything and everything. And I've just realized how growing up, how much of a staple my parents have been in terms of the way they raised me, the person that I am today, my morals, my values, beliefs, everything is shaped around, hanging around with my parents and talking to them about things. So I definitely agree with you that it's so important to spend as much time as you can with your family, because that's where you really get most of your education about life, because they've lived longer than you, so they have so much to tell you and so much to educate and warn you about that you can't learn in school. So I think it's very essential to be close to the family.
Exactly. Yeah, it's always important to hear from a person who has been through, maybe more than you've been through in your life. Like you said, we might not always understand what our parents tell us, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that they always right, but there are certain things that they tell us that you just gotta sit back and think like, man, they paved the way. You know what I'm saying? They can imagine what they went through,
Definitely. And so, for anyone who's viewing this show, who has been interested by your story, by what you're majoring in, what would be your advice to give to them if they're aspiring to go into the same career field as you, but might not know where to start from?
Oh, you said that's going into the same field?
Yeah, that would be interested in going into the same career field as you, or maybe even majoring in the same major that you're studying right now. What advice can you give them if they're not sure where to start?
My advice would to be, don't be afraid.
Right.
A lot of times people go into mass communication major and they say that they're scared to get behind the camera or they're scared to get in front of the camera. Just say, if you really, really say you want to do this and you really, really love it, then you're going to have to get away from having that fear of stage fright.
Right.
If you're a communication major, there's no, I don't want to talk to you in person, I don't want to email you, I don't want to text you, I don't want to call you, I don't want to go live. These are certain things that you have to do out of your comfort zone for you to become comfortable. And this, like I said, don't be afraid. Be able to take that risk, be able to go through that struggle, because, like you say, the struggle is going to help pave the way for you. And you got to be willing to, not, it's okay to be afraid. Everybody messes up. Everybody, has, downfalls. Use that. Use that as your edge, to do what you love. Like, don't be afraid and turn that, that fearfulness into success. I was kind of sketchy at first. There were times that, like I said, I wanted to give up, but because I fell in love with it, I was willing to push through. And make sure another thing. Make sure that you're passionate about it.
Right. Definitely.
If you love it, you're gonna want to go through those tough times, because once you get over that hump, you're like, oh my gosh, I can do this. And it is going to keep happening. So that's my big advice. Don't be afraid, and make sure you have a passion for it.
Definitely. Agreed. Well, thank you so much for joining me on my show today, Brian. I really appreciate it. You dropped some gems, and it was great getting to know you. But before you do go, can you let people know where they can find you on social media?
Wait, say that again?
Oh, can you let everyone know where they can find you on social media?
Oh, yeah. So if you can listen up, my Instagram is Turbo, TURBO, _production 24, which is my main director, global page. You can find me on Facebook. You can look up my CEO page, which is at Turbo Productions, and my regular Facebook, which is Brian Smith, Brian. Those are my social platforms, Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, great. Okay, awesome. Well, it was so nice talking to you, Brian. It was so nice getting to meet you.
It was nice meeting you too. I appreciate the interview. I appreciate you, Auntie Wong. I love you. Hopefully one of the day again I can come down there to Vegas and we can do something even more live.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just sitting here almost in tears listening to you. Like you are quite a young man, Brian. You should be very, very happy with where you are right now in life. And I'm sure when people hear this, you're going to inspire them. So I'm definitely going to be, it's going straight to YouTube now, and we're going to put it on Facebook. And yeah, people need to hear this. Do you agree, King Toddy?
Definitely, definitely. He seems to have a really good head on his shoulders. He knows exactly what he wants, where he's going. And I love to see, young people like that having such an inspirational, motivational story. It was great getting to know him.
Yes, definitely. So, Brian, you can put this interview now on your resume that you've done a professional interview live.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
so you'll be able to add this to your interview. So we're going to close things out now. I'm going to let Toddy give her final words, and we're going to be gone, Brian. But thank you so much, sweetie. Auntie loves you.
I love you too, Auntie. I appreciate you, giving me this opportunity. Like I said, I hope to see you soon.
Yes. Yes, I got to get you here. Okay, King Toddy, we're going to turn it over to you.
Okay, so before I go, you guys, obviously the biggest news in the world right now is about COVID-19, which is the scientific name for coronavirus. So I just want to give you guys some facts because it seems like everybody's getting all these factual information from different sources, and I want to give you guys the most accurate, up-to-date information about COVID-19, the statistics, as well as how to prepare for it. So the sources that I'm getting these from are from the US and China Centers for Disease Control, the New York Times, and the Johns Hopkins University. Keep in mind, this is from yesterday, so obviously every hour there's new updates, but this is the most up-to-date factual information that I could find. So for those of you who aren't really sure what COVID-19 is about, it does attack your respiratory system. The majority of the cases are mild, 80.9% to be exact. Only 13.8% of the coronavirus cases have been diagnosed as severe and have actually required hospitalization. The mild cases have been given flu-like symptoms, which in that case people have been told to stay home and self-quarantine, and most of them recover. Only 4.7% of the coronavirus cases are actually critical and have required intensive care or, have unfortunately led to death. The majority of people do recover. Of the total worldwide confirmed cases, 40% are currently ill, 56.6%, however, have already recovered, and 3.5% have died from the coronavirus. Those who are aged 60 years and up are most at risk, as well as those who have, underlying conditions such as cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, chronic respiratory diseases, abnormally high blood pressure, and cancer. So if you have very serious underlying conditions or are age 60 and above, I would require you to take these safety precautions more seriously. Obviously, I want everyone to take the safety precautions seriously, but just for those who are more at risk at it. And so these are some ways that you can help prevent and recover from coronavirus if in the unfortunate event you should get them. So just to know, if you have a runny nose and septum, this is a common cold. This shouldn't really be considered coronavirus. Also, it's allergy season as well, so don't get that confused. Coronavirus pneumonia is described as a dry cough with no runny nose. This new virus is not heat resistant and will be killed by a temperature of at least 26 or 27 degrees. It hates the sun. If someone sneezes with it, it takes about 10 feet before it drops to the ground and is no longer airborne. However, if there is DNA left, like let's say on furniture or anywhere else, and that person does have coronavirus, it can stay alive for up to 3 to 4 days, I believe. If it drops on a metal surface, it will live for at least 12 hours. So if you come into contact with any metal surface, wash your hands as soon as you can with the bacterial soap. If you're not able to get access to soap and water as quickly as possible, please do carry hand sanitizer with you. I know it's going crazy right now with hand sanitizer selling out everywhere. Hopefully you've been clean before coronavirus such that you do already have a hand sanitizer on you. On fabric, it can survive for 6 to 12 hours. Normal laundry detergent will kill it. So make sure that you're washing your clothes in a constant cycle as well. Drinking warm water is effective for all viruses, so try not to drink liquids with ice. Wash your hands frequently, as the virus can only live in your hands for 5 to 10 minutes, but a lot can happen during that time. You rub your eyes, you pick your nose, it's things that you do without thinking about. You should also gargle as a prevention, which I had no idea. A simple solution of salt in warm water will suffice. And can't emphasize this enough, drink plenty of water, make sure to stay hydrated. And just make sure to stay safe out here. I think the biggest thing is that if you don't have any reason to go out, stay inside. If there are any social functions, you want to go out, have fun with your friends, try to minimize that as much as possible. Stay inside. Now the great thing with technology, you have social media, we have FaceTime, we have Skype, we have texting, we have phone calling. It's not that hard to stay in touch with your friends. The better that we prevent this and prepare for this, probably the quicker that this will pass. So stay safe, everybody. I hope these tips helped, and we will see you next week, Friday at 6 p.m. And thank you so much to Wong, my executive producer.